Hello everybody, this is Lodge, and in today's video I'm going to take a look back on a Halo game that a lot of people in the community do not like and try to find their redeeming qualities. Alright, first I wanted to talk about, while the characters are very underdeveloped in the actual campaign, it was interesting to use a lot of them from different Halo books and other media and bring them all together. Like, you have a woman who learned the Sangheili language and basically became a diplomat is a pretty cool concept for a character in the Halo game, especially since in the previous games there was almost no humans who fully trusted the elites until the end of Halo 3, and then we went right back to fighting aliens in 4. I just think for almost all Fireteam Osiris was super cool in concept. Like, you have an Oni agent, a former OST, and Tanaka, I guess. From this, it also gave us a closer look into how the Spartan Forces were recruited. Everyone could be from a different background. I don't know, it's just super cool to me in concept that we could see that the UNSC Spartan program was evolving into something a little more mainstream. Though I guess it really only applies to the concept of the game in the books, since it's never really fully talked about in the game to much detail. Speaking of different Spartans in the UNSC, we finally got to see the Master Chief's OG fire team work together in this game. We can finally see how John's childhood friends can be on the battlefield together, which I think is super cool. And we only got 3 levels with them. It's still so devastating to remember how these fan favorite characters in the series, characters we've read about since before the original Combat Evolved even launched, just to get so few missions. But anyway, back to the positives. It was cool to see him in a video game for the first time. Now, something I think Halo 5 did alright was its first level. It introduces us to these new and one returning character, and in its first action cutscene, you see them working together pretty well as a team. And you even see some of the new game mechanics that are introduced in this game, such as ground pounding and the shoulder thrust. Then, after going through a bit of the mission, you see a new Covenant machine, the Kraken, which I think looks super cool and could be kind of seen as similar to the Scarab in terms of you first see it and it's like, oh no, this is a big Covenant machine that you're never going to hope to defeat, and then you eventually do. Though in the game it's a little less cool as the Halo 3 Scarabs. But yeah, I still thought it was pretty interesting to see for the first time. Then at the end of the first level, we finally get to see Joel Madonna, the game's main antagonist that was seen in Spartan Ops. I just think it was so cool to see his enemy being brought up in the last game's side mode. Like, he wasn't even in Halo 4, but he was in a side mode, and then it was built up over these DLC missions to finally be the game's main antagonist for this story. Oh, and he's dead. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm really not even against the choice of bringing back Cortana to be an AI dictator who wants to control the universe. I think that's an interesting idea for the next game, to try and move away from just the Covenant. But to have this all set up through 3 years, and then thrown away in the cutscene of the first mission. You don't even get to do a quick time event or press melee to slowly punch him to death. He's just gone. At least we can finally see Dr. Halsey without an arm like it was in Spartan Ops. Oh well. Man. That really took a lot out of me to try to find what was good in this game. That was all just from the first mission. Well, to finish up what I've liked about in the campaign, I think I really liked Meridian as a planet that was glassed by the Covenant in the first wars. And we can finally see what a glass planet looks like just a few years after the fact. And that the town in that we visit was run by an AI governor, which I thought was a cool world building idea. Exuberant Witness was neat at the end. I think Warden Eternal could have been cool if he wasn't here every other level to fight. Oh, and I think my favorite part of the game was the subplot of the Arbiter fighting in the Civil War on Sanghelios and the Battle of Sunayon. I just thought that was a super cool mission. I do wish the Arbiter had the original Sangheili model as the previous games, since the elites in this one are technically a different subspecies or something to the elites we saw in the Bungie games. I know making a new model would be a lot of work than just reusing the one they made for the base enemies, but I can dream about what could have been. Oh, and we saw the Arbiter talk about Chief in a high regard, which is super cool. And we even got to see him meet at the end of the game. Though, I doubt we'll see much of them together in Infinite, even though they didn't really have anything in Halo 5 to like talk about. They just kind of like saw each other. But once again, I can hope. Oh, also there's a female elite in that level, which is cool, because we've never seen that, as far as I can tell. And I think that's pretty much everything I liked in the campaign. I'm probably missing some stuff like kicking a grunt off the ledge and finding these hidden journals you find in levels. But let's go off to the rest of the main game. I really liked the amount of armor choices that players could choose from. I mean, look at how long it takes to get from one side to the other in just the helmet list. Though I do wish you could choose more than just a helmet and then the rest of your body, like you could in like Halo Reach. Even Halo 4 had a really good armor customization. Like even Halo 3 had a better one than this. The skins you get from weapons were also pretty cool. Oh, and I really liked the multiplayer in this game, though I can see how it can be a little bit too competitive compared to previous Halo games. I also liked Warzone and Concept. I feel like it could have used a little more work to make it more balanced without having to pay a lot of money for a weapon you wanted. And it also had such a grind to get to the max level. I mean, I've been playing casually since the game released almost 6 years ago now, and I don't even think I'm halfway there. I may never get up to that legendary 152. I also really liked how a lot of the weapons, each of their scopes were different to suit the weapons. Now, I don't think every weapon should go to the extent of Smart Link, like the assault rifle shouldn't have a natural way of zooming in. But I did like how all the Forerunner weapons, they looked interesting. I don't know, I thought it was interesting. I also liked how they changed up all those Forerunner weapons. Like, I feel like 343 should know that what they made years ago shouldn't be the only thing that they create. Like, they can change up their weapons however they want, I feel like. I feel like that's good forward game design. Though, I guess they could just make a whole new weapon to suit this sort of thing if they wanted. And I know not everyone's going to agree with me on this, but I actually liked how different weapons and vehicles had different variants. I don't know, it just saves a whole lot on like creating models and game development time that they can make a whole lot of these weapons that look the same, though some function differently. I don't know, I think that's a cool idea and kind of innovates there. And finally, I think everyone can agree with this, that Halo 5 absolutely crushed its Forge. And by that, I mean it's the best the series has ever seen. And I just hope Halo Infinite can live up to the standard it set, if not exceed it. Though I know that's kind of a high bar to set. And I think that's everything big enough for me to mention. Now I know this game is very divisive in the community, but I think it has a lot of good parts of a good Halo game. Though some of the negatives are really negative for me. And this isn't my favorite game of all time, but it certainly isn't my least favorite. And you shouldn't be so sad if this is your favorite Halo game, because I don't think it's a bad video game. Yeah, you should enjoy what you enjoy. Well, anyway, this was me, Lodge, talking about one game that I've spent a whole lot of my life on. And I just wanted to remember some of the positives of it. So I hope you all have a good day, and goodbye.